英雄的是个定下学的 ，Ladies and gentlemen， Columbia supryze， 好懂的那呀 ，Shannon Jones。Yeah
man。
小里都定係管理故事都bắt到喺你前面撥咗嘅計路，你重啲這是頭歌，壓落好路紅路上中 TV 路路記，拉布手路東係個你個時我打起，要到個體力上用，不要個那愛記，了要個那是馬行動，對係點樣係冇好事落嚟到最係要用，比如要出動把佢這是殺頭那種。
Such a beautiful creation, so original, so tasting， 要到個浪古有情意一刻 ，perfect mixture of ingredients。Your mother must have been a genius. You talk a lot, don't go down, Bolika. Kanya kasi, gana dachi. You talk and go lonely. Like an angel with Dodi. Kanya kasi, gana dachi. You talk and go lonely. Oh, won't you be my shorty?
Yo te cuyo to otai, kopu kalon do kuno. Sau sẽ hình vì nữ mong ngay mong chỉ rồi ý lý có sao muốn nó đã chỉ yên lại chỉ cùng mà lý ô tu lo cho giờ tao có cùi chỉ phải sao có giờ cùi lý thanh cho giờ có sao có ý chạy short chỉ cùng mà thâu ít phút chờ chỉ lý ô cho cứ kia lý chat ho lo tàu giờ hai tay ư chỉ mua khó ô một số có số mò vì con dùng câu lo li yo.
Such a beautiful creation, so original, so tasting. Your talk a lot, cùi yo chính đi khó. Perfect mixture of ingredients. Your mother must have been a genius. You talk a lot, don't go down, Bolika. Kanya kasi, gana dachi. You talk and go lonely. Like an angel with Dodi. Kanya kasi, gana dachi. You talk and go lonely. Oh, won't you be my shorty? Oh, won't you be my shorty? Oh, won't you be my shorty?
DJ Paul.
英雄的是个定下学的 ，Ladies and gentlemen。
DJ Paul.
情要到頭被情要命又有起爆大好啦啦要切被母他包頭年頭要馬里包嗷嗷那波情要到那波情要到頭被情要命又有情爸爸腦被下單能力叫辦到要咕嚕嚕咕情要到嗷嗷那波情要到古情要上頭被美起都摸後輪呀了頭摸起來 everyday 頭都中路馬里落 J 鄭州扣落諸後 J 我阿丟他媽古日 J 路紅都落到頂大我就離被要賭題古地路就個通於多動型有學下類 play Street Fighter 先到喺類 Pokemon 且 Dragon Ball ใช้無日來應是博佢夜夜裡chỉ sơ chạy block cho nó khó nồng hậu để ta gì nhiều từ mua số cũ ta kỳ là nhỏ lì sợ lấy ta lì liên đầu lò report khỏi tôi yên chỉnh lấy a mù họ từ bé mù ít ba lời tiền lì chỉ một bé say mê cần tới in hút lọt gió chèn nhăn đầy mù ô xí tập họ giờ để lấy từ xí say rong để ít liền lỡ lù lù thì block chỉ bé mua nửa tha xí chia cờ rong lì lù bé nhục hoa dùa ta chỉ nó sát cho thầu u giờ bé liền thêm bọn lửa lùa mùa lo lạnh chỉ ua trong tù cú tì lâu thế lịch trâu cần gùa bị sao búa thế chìm lòng lù cú nhẹ thì lên mô bên bù của chỉnh cho tao thảo bế chỉnh cho mình nhờ giàu chỉ bóc ba hào la la nhớ chế bên mù tháp lao thầu nè thao cứ như mà lấy bao ao ao nè bộ chỉnh cho tao nè bộ chỉnh cho tao thảo bế chỉnh cho mình nhờ giàu chỉnh ba ba nâu bế ra đa nâng ly cho ban tao nhớ cú lú lú cú chỉnh cho tao ao ao nè bộ chỉnh cho tao
thầu bế chỉnh yao yao bế tao bóng đầu đã chỉ lo tao chỉ nhỏ ta đau khâu bọn trong từ trên tao bấu đau khâu cho mi đau hậu lo câu đây tứ chỉ tông bao đây thầu cũng nhiều rap sư cũng chỉ tao bấu show bấu thua cho kể cần đâu chỉ cho bóng đầu cũng nhớ trong thầu cũng yao bấu mua in hữu cũng ua tao thua răng câu ấy cũng show còn trái sầu nên tao hậu rong lên có yom hông có nhiều nhon trong hai là tư chìm nông đã cho phong dư khẽ thông đồng cái hậu ra thành đó bị bông cho lâu hai yêu tư chìm nông thả lồng gâu trâu thua cho kể chill with these every day cơ mà chạy thầu lo cho chế thầu mà chạy chạy phi thế kể hút nhóm bơ bê bài nung chê chỉ muốn chế mua kể lo chê thế nó nên bầu bê yo pay nên tha bê bê mua con chê life's okay no bills to pay khởi nhận đua vì bê tròn nhẹ nịa thó qua vì bê trình kê giờ hai tia bê lo chế khâu lá chỉ mua nhẹ thì chỉ bê bao ta chỗ mua y khó chân gầu na kể luôn ở bê yên chỉ bao ta
bộ chỉnh cho tao thảo bế chỉnh cho mình nhờ giàu chỉ bóc ba hào la la nhớ chế bên mù tháp lao thầu nè thao cứ như mà lấy bao ao ao nè bộ chỉnh cho tao nè bộ chỉnh cho tao thảo bế chỉnh cho mình nhờ giàu chỉnh ba ba nâu bế ra đa nâng ly cho ban tao nhớ cú lú lú cú chỉnh cho tao ao ao nè bộ chỉnh cho tao
Chả câu ở đâu cũ nhẹ cơ cha lùa từ ở đâu cũ sa múa tan trò cũ tu khen trao có xa là bóng lì con đâu cũ xa là bóng lì con mà cũ xa nhẹ có xa lưu có ở đâu cũ vừa kia đâu có chia rong lì có cho lưu và xin gì cũ lưu chia lì lưu bàn drop lại ở có xin thâu có mũ bự xa là bóng lì về lưu dây tha lưu xa là bóng lì về ở xí lao dê ở tôi có tuổi cũ thấy tê dê cho cũ kia là bóng xa là bóng lì về lưu dây tha lưu xa là bóng lì về ở xí lao dê thâu có sơ là có mà nhờ tiền có bao suốt giờ cũ mà nở Bùi giờ đi con giờ giờ cũng mò nó vì nằm mò con bao xua địa mưa là vòng con đâu địa bom mua hay địa chỉ tao mua con giờ giờ cũng xu lá mò lý chỉ mua ta kia con đâu địa bom mua hay địa chỉ tao mua con giờ giờ cũng xu lá mò lý chỉ mua ta kia xa là bóng lì về lưu dây tha lưu xa là bóng lì về ở xí lao dê ở tôi có tuổi cũ thấy tê dê cho cũ kia là bóng xa là bóng lì về lưu dây tha lưu xa là bóng lì về ở xí lao dê thâu có sơ là có mà nhờ tiền có bao suốt giờ cũ mà nở tiền có bao suốt giờ cũ mà nở tiền có bao suốt giờ cũ mà
Sinh lý thọ cú bỏ con gà lò hậu lưu hông nọ cú tụ bao hai tiêm hông nọ yo im hông rong mò cú yo tao y vừa đến chia ở tao nó ư trong kho hông mê mê cơ so có chia có thể lý tao rong nhỏ mi lấy một sao lo rơi dây cú yên chỉ tỏ có bộ cả bác hay mê mê có cú keng lý có yo hai tay con đau cú dây ư yo yên thì im hông nọ cho ra 这片滚到了被手的先给个手，至少手地方的内路动了右手地盘下个内路手动，那手đầu了到那天了个错了到被杀了共，天了只有那多得多天里少路共中，哦 no 被手đầu有木给老师chấp lâu，被有我个头说有还差里路乱跑，希望到路进村子，个其他也没走，个其轮到被我是贴我拉帮木上路走。
Hey, what is going on, guys? I'm gonna have to unmute him now. So, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the live interview. We're here with Supryze, and we're gonna ask him 30 questions. How you doing today, bro?
What's up, bro? I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, man.
So I'm gonna start off with the first question. Or actually, before that, do you want to do any shout outs?
Shout outs to all my friends and family, all the artists I'm working with who down to work with me. And shout outs to everybody out there who is, trying their best to make it day by day.
All right, man. All right. So the first question I got for you is, when did you start doing music?
So I want to say back in middle school, that's when I started building an interest for music. It was the early 2000s, so that was like when 2000 R&B was like really hot at the time. So a lot of big name artists like Usher, Bad Boy Records were hot, and so that kind of like that was the type of music that caught my ears, And so during that time, it was before like anyone had computers or had access to the internet. So in order to grab some lyrics, you had to go to the library, search it up, do that. So it was a lot of work. And so for me, what I did was I just listened to the radio, and then whenever the song came on, I'll just try to write the lyrics down as fast as I can, just so I can memorize the lyrics and sing along,
Yeah.
And so that's what started. That's what started it for me to, kind of learn how to write lyrics and how there was structures and songs and stuff. So.
Gotcha. So, what made you start music?
What made me start music? I think it was just like, like writing down all the lyrics and copying the lyrics of different songs. You just, I just started to think like, it was something that I could do.
Right.
And so like, because I already enjoyed music so much too, like just in seeing all those lyrics, I just told myself like, hey, maybe I could do this too, and then, like, I didn't know, but during the same time, my older brothers, they were, they built an interest for like rap and like freestyling too. And so I heard them rap, and that's what inspired me to, come back and like write up my own so I can go back and share it with them.
Right. Your other brothers, they rap too? Like.
Yeah, just for fun though.
Just for fun. Okay.
Just for fun. They never really put out music like that.
Okay. So could you describe your career as best as possible for us?
So yeah, I would say my music is more of a passion and like a hobby than a career. So it's just something that I really enjoy doing. And so like all the music that I put out there is because it's something that I really enjoy, that I just want to put it out to have other people enjoy that with me, And so, a lot of time is like you're investing a lot of money and time into like making a
Yep.
song or like buying studio equipments and stuff like that. But you don't really think about that because you're enjoying the process so much. So yeah, I would say yeah, I don't know. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, no, I know
Yeah.
that
Okay.
answered pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
so what you're saying is basically you do this. You do this for you don't do this for the fame. You don't do this for to get noticed. You just do this for you put out your voice and what you want to say. And if people vibe with it, they vibe with it. If they don't, they don't. It's
Right. Yep.
it's your lyrics and it's what you feel inside, the passion you got for music. Now I got you.
Yep.
What is your plan in the future for music?
My plan, well, nothing too crazy, but I do want to continue making music. Hopefully put out a few albums and work with as many artists as I can, and try to make the best music to my capability, and just to kind of go with the flow. Like not expecting too much. Because when you expect too much, you're gonna be like unsatisfied or disappointed. So, but just kind of go with the flow, and if one day like the right opportunity come knocking at my door, then of course I would definitely consider it. But of course for now, I'm just gonna try my best to keep leveling up like my skill, and like to keep leveling up like the sound of my own music, and then hopefully be enough to inspire like the next generation of like creative young people to that will continue to create music for the Hmong community.
So just try to go as high as you can, do the best you can, and there's nothing else you can. This is pretty much what you want to do for the rest of your life. Correct?
Like
most of
it
your
will
life.
always,
Yeah.
it will always be something I enjoy.
Yep.
Like whether, I work in a different career or whatnot, but it's always going to be part of my life.
Right.
So.
So, if you had to describe yourself outside of the music world, how would you do so?
Let's see. I would say I'm not too different. So like, me as Sue,
Yeah.
and like as supryze, I would say we're pretty similar.
Okay.
I still try to like spread as much love and positivity as possible, and like, show everybody respect, and to be a good son to my parents, to be a good role model and a good sibling, or a good brother to my brothers and sisters, and to be a good friend to my friends.
Yeah.
And so like if I'm not being recognized as supryze in public or out there, like, I'm just like anybody else. So just like anybody else going about my day.
Just a normal person.
Yeah.
I understand. What, are you gonna call me at this time, bro? Sorry, somebody just tried to call me.
Oh yeah.
So do you feel as if your music career is going good right now?
Yeah, I think it is. I think I'm doing pretty good. I mean, it's hard, especially with COVID in the way too. I can definitely see the effects that it slowed down a lot of other artists, who had a lot of plans for this year, but I'd say at the same time, I still feel very fortunate to have all of these great people and great resources around me, and to be well known enough as an artist.
Right.
But even though I feel like I'm still trying to establish myself, but just being well known enough to kind of gain the respect of other artists, which makes creating music and like putting out like big projects like music videos like that, a lot easier. Not saying that
it's gonna watch.
Right. Yep. So like like projects like this, not saying that it's easy, but it's still a ton of work, but it's just the end product.
Right.
It's very satisfying.
So, do you ever hang out with your fans?
Yeah. So I'm not exactly sure, but so because like whenever I'm out in public or like at the bar or at a party, and somebody approaches me saying that they are a fan, and let's see, they might start off by saying, "You, I'm a fan of your music," but then I feel like the longer we have a conversation, like I won't see them as a fan. You know, I'm seeing them as just as a friend
Yeah.
or a new friend that I'm meeting. So, let's say if we were to exchange information and I hit them up afterwards, you know, I won't be thinking that, oh, I'm gonna hit up my fan. You know,
Yeah. No, I
it's
got
just
you.
gonna be like, yeah, it's just gonna be like, I'm hitting up my buddy that I met. You know, my new friend. You know, so.
So I think it's more of you don't hang out with fans. It's more of your fans become friends, and you're not a close person. So you welcome everybody, even if you know they're a fan of your music, and because like nowadays people who are a fan, they still talk to you as a respect. Like back then, if you go up as you a fan to another major artist like Usher and stuff like that, you'll go up to him and you're like, oh, I'm a big fan, and Usher's not gonna pay attention to you. Like he'll be like, thank you, and then walk away. So
Yeah. Yeah, so like at the same time, I don't really see myself as a big artist too.
Yep.
So when somebody approaches me, it's just like most of the time I just introduce myself as Sue. You know,
yeah,
I won't be like I won't even be like, hey, what's up? I'm Surprise. You know,
yeah.
and so and plus the thing is like just from like personal experiences, like when I see myself as too big of a fan, it kind of makes things awkward. You know,
Yeah.
so you tend to be more nervous, like going up to somebody that you're a fan of. So I think it's like I try my best to try to make them feel comfortable
Yep.
so that to get rid of that awkwardness. So
Yeah, I feel it. I understand. So if you can collaborate with any singer or rapper, who would you collaborate with?
let's see. So I'm not gonna name any Hmong artists just because I think, well, like me personally, if you're a Hmong artist who is, putting your stuff out there, and I notice you, sooner or later I'm gonna work with you. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. But let's say any mainstream artist, I would say like rapper wise, I'd say probably like Logic and Chance the Rapper.
Okay.
They would be the two that I would like to collab with, just because I see their music as very similar to mine. Which is what is it? It's more like uplifting and positive music. So like Logic had an album all about including everybody.
Right.
And then Chance the Rapper, he's like a Christian or gospel rapper, so like all his music are very like upbeat and uplifting as well. And like what I like is like a lot of times some of the songs might sound kind of funny or silly, but then at the same time it's just about making a fun song. And but then at the same time they're still like very lyrical about it. So
Right.
and that's what I like about them.
Understandable.
Yeah, I say for singers, definitely my two favorite that I would like to collab with would be The Weeknd and Khalid. Just because like their voices are very unique and original, and like whenever they're featured on a song, like it's gonna be a hit. So.
Yeah, powerful. Like they got powerful voices and they've got powerful lyrics. Like
Right.
So, what was your inspiration to write music?
I mean, just in my life in general, So I tend to do a lot of like storytelling rap. So just kind of like reflecting on my past, and I draw a lot of inspiration from like the Hmong culture too. Especially with like, everybody knows it that like the Hmong culture is like kind of slowly fading a little bit, and like a lot of like young Hmong people are, forgetting the language. So I think like with my music, that's one of the main purpose too, is just to kind of preserve like the Hmong language, like within my music. So.
Understandable. Yeah, totally understandable. Because nowadays, like if see, I'm half Hmong and white, so and Hmong is very it was difficult for me while I was growing up because I'm two different races, and you got two different I have two different parents and two different families that I have to go around. But when you go around, like if you come around my my Hmong side, all the guys who are my age or younger don't even know Hmong. Even though their parents speak Hmong all the time and our grandparents do, I can speak to my grandparents perfectly fine, where they struggle, right? And it's like you kind of look at it like, man, like you gotta learn these stuff like that. I'm still learning on the way, but you still gotta
Mm-hmm.
learn these stuff like, 'cause at the end of the day, you're Hmong. You gotta
Mm-hmm.
and we have grandparents, and don't you want to hear their stories? Because if you can't understand their stories, or you can't even talk to them about their stories, it's kind of like, what's the point? Like, like, would you still consider yourself Hmong? Like, you want to? Because for me, when I was listening to my grandparents' story when we were younger as kids, it always hit me and then I was a history freak. Like, I super love history. Like, that's my favorite subject. And but with my other cousins, my first cousins, they can't understand. It's kind of like, you can't say much. You can explain it to them, but you just go like, you want to tell them, hey, you should try to learn Hmong, because you have Hmongs, because we got a lot of OGs that still don't know English, and then we have some that do, and that's why it's kind of like, it's a mixed match, and they get to the point where they're like, oh, English is just the normal language, but you still got to know Hmong.
Yeah, I totally relate to that, because like I have younger brothers too, who are like probably like 13, 14, and like they barely speak Hmong, and well, they don't at all actually, and like I show them my music, and I'll be like, hey, check out my new song, and then they'd be like, I don't know what you're saying, and we go, okay, let me translate it for you,
Yeah.
So I just want to make music for like everybody, all ages, especially the younger Hmong people too, because I know, I mean, it's obvious that a lot of them are forgetting the language or don't even speak it, and so I guess one thing that I try to do is like to try to make speaking Hmong cool,
Yeah.
and so hopefully making something that they can kind of see like, hey, that's pretty cool, I want to know what he's saying,
Yeah.
and then to kind of encourage them to come back and learn, because at the same time, like you can tell them as much as you want, like, hey, you should learn how to speak Hmong, because you need to communicate with your parents, your grandparents, this and that, but then it's really up to them.
Yep.
Because honestly, for me, at one point, like I was forgetting a lot of my Hmong too, but it's just like seeing that there is a value in knowing the language.
Yep.
So it's up to them to find what that value is to them.
Yeah, so I think it's one of the biggest thing is that when you think about it, is when you're growing up in a American community where you're speaking English every day, because when you go to school, you can't speak Hmong to your teacher, you can only speak English, and you start to lose some of that stuff, and then you start to see the flaws in our culture, because you go like, women are supposed to go cook and clean, and you go, now both of us do it, where both of us are supposed to be doing those things, and women are supposed to stay at home and watch the kids, where now both of us are doing that. We're both working. We're in a different time where being Americanized is the normal, and being Hmong traditional is abnormal. So that's something that I see as us growing, is that we're changing our flaws, but we're also losing what we believe in. So I understand what you're saying.
Right. Yeah.
So what is the story about how you got your name Supryze?
So it's pretty simple. I just kind of gave myself that name. But of course it's kind of like going off of my real name, Sue.
Yep.
And so I just kind of added it, the prize after. So like surprise, to kind of like something to excite, but something new that would captures people's attention, or just like that would be the meaning behind my name, Supryze. It's just to like something that catches people off guard, And so like with my music, that's what I wanted it to do. But yeah, I'd say when I came up with that name, I was probably like 15 or 16, and I was already doing music.
Yeah.
But then I went by the different name, very simple, Young Sue.
Okay.
Because at the time there's a lot of popular artists, like Young Soldier or Young Jock and Young Jeezy, and so I just kind of went off of that. But then at one point I was just like, but what I noticed is like a lot of artists and rappers at the time, they were like all like kind of changing their name as they progressed through their music career, And so I just thought I needed to change, and wanted to just change my name to be something different. So I came up with Supryze. I just kind of looked through the dictionary, and it was a word that kind of stood out to me. So
no, I get it. Like because if you look at it, like you got You got Eminem who changed his name twice. You got Slim Shady and then Eminem. Then you got Snoop Dogg who changed his name 3 times and went back to the same name. Snoop Dogg, Snoop Cat, Snoop Jib, and then Snoop Dogg again. And it's like you
Wasn't
understand.
it like Snoop Lion?
All right, Snoop Lion. Yeah, Snoop Lion too. He
Yeah.
had Snoop Cat and then Snoop Lion, and I was like, bro, you're done. You need to stop. just keep it to one. No, like it's, and I understand that where because you do see a lot of artists, they either go with the name that they felt was most comfortable for them, and then so like for you it was Young Sue, which is it's understandable because your name was Sue, and then at that time you were young and everybody was using the Young in their names, and then now you got other artists who changed the name to something that sticks out for them, that feels good for them or feels right, and Supryze is what you felt was right because which is it's understandable. So are you single, married, or have any kids?
Yeah, simple question. Single, no kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ladies, you know what to do. I'm just kidding. All right, so where did you grow up?
Yeah, I grew up on the East Coast in Providence, Rhode Island. I'd say up until I was like 7, and then my family moved to Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay.
Where we lived there for like I want to say 5 to 6 years, and then after that we moved to St. Paul, Minnesota, where we're currently at now, and we've been here since. So.
Okay, so you were in Rhode Island, then you came to Minneapolis, and then you went to St. Paul, which is that's a lot of that's 3 spots that you moved to. I mean, Rhode Island to Minnesota that's a long spot, but or like a long travel, but you were 7, and then so you mean you probably had friends there, but now it's like you can't remember them. But now being here, you still have the same friends.
Yep.
So how did it growing up in those 3 different spots mold you to being who you are today?
Yeah, so I say growing up in Providence, Rhode Island, we lived in like a very low income neighborhood, and like being first generation Hmong, Hmong children, because like my parents, they were refugees. They came over. I was actually born overseas in Thailand, and then I was about 2 years old when we came here, and so just being like, first generation refugees in the States, and seeing my family struggle to with like speaking English and just kind of like trying their hardest to like provide for the family. It kind of like made me like more humble, and it taught me to like not ask for too much and just kind of appreciate what you have in the little things, and so I think that kind of really helped me become like more considerate, and so like even now like everything I do, I'm always like thinking about others or like considering everybody else. So like for example, like we're at a potluck or something, I'm just gonna grab a little bit of everything, but just to make sure that there's enough for everybody else. Or if we're out, I just want to make sure that everyone has a safe ride home. And I guess like with working with like other artists and producers or just like anybody, I want to make sure that my project timeline is a good fit for them, So
yeah, I understand that because I did the same thing. My father came here when he was 12, and they had my grandparents had 8 or 7 kids, and all of them were born in Laos. Besides the youngest one, which is my uncle, he was born here after like not even a year of them being here, and then after that we start having the first generation of Hmong kids being born here in America, and I'm one of those kids, one of the first boys from from my dad's side. So basically, my grandfather and my dad is the oldest boy, and then me, and then so living in the same, understanding the poverty because we were at McDonough homes, and then we moved to Mount Airy, and then we finally and then we started renting out places because my father worked hard to go and learn how to speak English, and then go from there. So I understand.
Yeah.
So
everyone kind of grew up the same, a lot of like people our age,
Yeah. So what was your childhood like?
My childhood, I would say, I mean, it's pretty similar to like anybody else. You know, I spent a lot of time, uh, I spent a lot of time with my siblings because I had five other siblings. You know, one older brother, an older sister, and three younger sisters. So there's quite a few of us, and so, um, a lot of times we were okay just being at home.
Yeah.
Just like playing with each other instead of like being out
Yeah.
and like doing other things. So we were okay just kind of being at home because we had each other. Um, Other than that, just like playing video games. We played a lot of soccer when I was young. Um, what else? And then like spent a lot of time just kind of sitting by the radio too, just kind of listening to music and learning how to write lyrics.
Just chilling back.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
understand.
Mhm.
That's kind of mostly every neighbor, like every child who has siblings, or if you have siblings and you have friends, you also go outside and hang out with your friends for a bit. So what is your goal for the next 5 years in your life out of music? So, outside of
Oh,
music.
out of music?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Outside of music. Um, yeah, definitely get a better job.
Okay.
I mean, like my job now it's all right. Like, it's enough to pay the bills, this and that, but I wouldn't say it'll be, yeah, it's enough to pay the bills and support like my, music hobby. But if I want to like, go to the next level, which is, buy a house for my family, to kind of chase the American dream, then, definitely get a better job.
Yeah.
And so, I just got a promotion like a couple months ago too. So just kind of working toward that next promotion and just kind of keep climbing my way up, so that I can, it will be enough to like financially support my other goals. But yeah, I would say just buy a house for my family. That would be like the main goal for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, the next 5 years I'll be really 32.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be 32. So I want to say by then, hopefully, find a significant other, somebody that, kind of share the same goals as I do, and be able to, build something off of that. If not, it's okay too, because I'm not really in a rush. So
Yeah. No, I get it. Everybody says that, they're not in a rush, but, love comes and goes, or it comes and it sticks around. So like, I met my wife 5 years ago, or 4.5 years ago, and we got two beautiful kids. Our relationship has always been shaky, but we always have the same goal. We have the same values. We love each other, so everything works out in the end. And then and your goal to get a better job, I understand that, because right now I'm just a bus driver. Okay, I have enough. I get enough money to pay all my bills and support my extra hobbies, like my noodle figures in the back, and my my gaming and everything like that. And but not only that, where right now I'm in school to go for computer science, so I'm waiting to get that job and be able to go from there. But I understand, and get a house for your family, and you'll find that one girl, or multiple if you want that, or a guy, or I'm not saying you're gay, but it just in case if you'll find that person, bro. It's very it's not, I'm not saying it's hard, but it's not easy either,
right. Yeah. Thank you, bro.
But everyone has heard this saying, and I've asked this to other artists in the other videos, "Mong Chi Lu Mong." So, do you find this saying to be true?
I mean, it's true in a way. I guess like speaking from like an artist's point of view, sometimes you do kind of see that where there's like an organization asking you to perform, or like they want to use your art or your talent to kind of promote them,
Yep.
But then a lot of the time they want it for free.
Yeah.
And so like that's not very it's not respecting like the artist's time and like their effort to come and perform for you. And so
Right.
I seen that a lot, and experienced that. But I just and so yeah, in that way, like yes, it's true. But then I think like recently and within the past year, I think that's been changing a lot. Just because especially with the like Hmong clothes market on Facebook, that like blew up, and it like now everybody is like into Hmong clothes, and like I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like that's they're starting to value like Hmong arts and Hmong culture,
Yep.
and like Hmong people a lot more. And like as artists too, like a lot more shows and stuff are willing to compensate artists for like coming to perform and stuff. And so
Right.
I definitely see that growth within the Hmong community. But if you're just like generally speaking, like if Hmong people hate being Hmong, or Hmong people hate other Hmong people or not, I would say no, because like most Hmong people love being Hmong, and they love other Hmong people, and so like they love their own kind, and so like just speaking for myself, whenever I see like an OG
Yep.
like, out in public, like I automatically like relate to them and see them as like my grandpa or my grandma, and like when I see little Hmong kids running around, like I look at them like as a if they were my nephew and nieces,
Yeah.
and so.
No, and I understand that. Like, in today's day and age, Hmong people have started to band together even more. I mean, we've always been together, but there's always been that secret hate sometimes, and it became where it was childish. But I think it's more because of human beings and not just the saying of Hmong Chilu Hmong. I think it was just, but there are some times where you get some group of Hmong people who hate other Hmong people because of what they do, like as in being an artist or they're more successful. And that's just something that we have to understand, that there's going to be people out there that are more successful. You just have to don't see them as a competition, but use them as I wouldn't say support, but like as a kind of mentor type of deal. They're not telling you what to do, but you see what they're doing and you go, okay, I'm going to do something similar. I don't have to do the same exact thing, but then I want to do what they're doing. I want to be big like them, or I want to do good like them.
Yep.
So
no, I totally understand that, because that's exactly what I do. Like I'd be lying if I said I didn't pay attention to any of these Hmong artists, because like a lot of like up and coming artists right now, or like artists who are well established within the community already. Like I support them and I listen to their music all the time and try to take a little bit of inspiration into like my own work, and yeah, like what you said, they're like mentors, so they're giving away like free lessons by putting the work out there, and it's just something for us, all of us, to learn.
Yep. Exactly. So do you have your own studio?
I don't have like a full blown studio, but I mean, where the room I am now, this is my studio, because I have like a desktop right there and like my mic set up, and so just kind of like what you have there.
Okay.
So it's just something simple, just so I could kind of practice at home, or kind of record like some little demos for like some of my projects, or sometimes just like recording vocals, just to kind of get a head start on a project, just so that you don't waste a lot of the producer's time. So
Yep, understandable. So since you started music, how has that changed your life in any way?
Yeah, it definitely has. It made me like more humble, and just kind of appreciating music and art, and like just anybody who's putting like created content out there. Just because like being an artist myself, you kind of you understand like how much time and effort is put into it, like any piece, like behind the scenes. So it taught me not to be too judgmental, and it's helped me, like music has, or like being in the music scene has definitely helped me like be more social, because you kind of have to be, just to communicate with your fans and with like anybody else. And it's helped me overcome my fear of being on stage, because back when I was making music, but I was never like a performer, And so like whenever I did step on stage, I had like stage fright, you know, and so like to the point where sometimes I forget all my lyrics, you know.
Yeah. So you never did
Yeah,
like the
so
talent show in school or anything?
yeah, in high school I would say throughout my high school years I performed at one show.
Okay.
Yeah, one show. And so throughout my 4 years, so um I didn't really have a lot of experience. So, but then I think I got most of my experience while I was in college,
Hmm.
just because you know you kind of like it was like a new scene. You like being in college, you kind of like oh,
It's like a restart.
you kind of put try to help yourself or force yourself to step out of your comfort zone. So that kind of helped me get started with like overcoming that fear. Um, and like, but then the thing is like I'm able to be on stage now
Okay.
without being so nervous. But then at the same time, the next step is like being a good performer.
Hmm.
You want to like be engaging. You want to have like good stage presence.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it's like a whole nother ball game to be a performer compared to like being just an artist that makes music. You know.
Exactly. No, I understand. Like, I did the talent show one time, and then throughout my whole life in school, and I did it I was in Highland Middle School, and I was breakdancing at the time because breakdancing was the thing.
Yep.
Yeah. And I used to call I used to be called B-boy Ty Z. So and I did
Represent.
Yeah. So I did that one time, and then after that I went to CSC, and that's where I met Channing.
Oh, okay.
And I did one performance during our school dance, not a talent show, but because we didn't have a talent show, I did it during the school dance, and then I was scared, so I messed up a couple times, and then that was it. And then I didn't perform after that. I just did little b-boy battles and stuff like that. But I understand, because if I would have kept practicing, I probably would have got better. But I was just like, it got too scared to be on stage and having everybody look at you, and you're like, man, you don't want to mess up and be a laughing stock. So
Right.
so
Yeah, totally understand that, man.
I did some research. So I looked this up, and on November 4th of 2019, so this is about roughly a year ago, you stated when you were 12, the first time you listened to a Hmong rap by Rare, R.I.P. Joe, from Rare. What was your take on hearing their music?
Yeah. So I mean, at that time, of course, I was exposed to like R&B and rap already, but then it was like my first time hearing Hmong rap,
Right.
So like hearing someone speak Hmong like that fast or like in a rhythm like that, and so I just found it to be like very cool.
Right.
And so like I instantly fell in love with the art of rap even more. And I don't know if it's like everybody, but then like for me, like I feel like when I'm listening to a very good Hmong song, and like the lyrics hit harder than like when I'm listening to a song in English, just because I don't know, it's just I guess just like being Hmong, you just kind of relate to it more. So
I think that's pretty much every race, because like when we listen to a song in English or in Spanish or even in Japanese and Chinese and all those songs, where you're like, they're good songs, we'll jam to it, we'll listen to it, but then once you get to that Hmong song, you're like, now you start to really jam into it, you really get into it, you start singing it, because that it hits you in a different way than what other music would, because you don't relate to that stuff, you relate to the stuff that the Hmong person is actually saying. So I understand.
yeah, just for example, like if you hear somebody saying English like you broke my heart,
Yeah.
Like compared to somebody saying in Hmong like or something like that, like
Yeah, or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
Yeah,
No.
so it hits deeper.
Yeah. So who are your favorite artists to listen to?
Let's see, right now I would say like mainstream hip hop or R&B right now would be these new artists I started listening to recently. The Kid Leroy. I listened to a lot of Corday, Cole, K. Dot, Drake. Just a lot of just what's popular right now, pretty much. But besides from rap, like definitely The Weeknd, Khalid, Joji, and and then recently I started listening to um this one. She's kind of like pop indie singer, but then she's like a very good writer. So I like her songs for like how creative her lyrics are.
Right.
Chelsea Cutler. And then I was a big, like in high school, I was a big like Demi Lovato and Adele fan too. So I still listen to a lot of the music.
Right.
But yeah, besides mainstream artists, I would say Hmong artists would be like, and I stated this in a few previous interviews too, but like Disu, Maya Vu, David Yang, ZPX, Chenin, Young, and Elaine Yang. So those would be like my top Hmong artists right now.
Yeah, me and Cleo went to high school together. We were in choir actually together too.
You and who? Oh,
Me and Cleo.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Oh,
went
really?
to Harding together.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, you went to Harding too?
Yeah, she kicked with us a couple of times in our table,
Okay.
but then she usually hanged out with a lot of people. She was
Okay.
pretty much everywhere.
So is it popular?
You could kind of say that, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
she was outgoing, so she's
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
she's not a
Definitely. She
mean
seemed like
person.
that.
Yeah, she's not a mean person. She'll talk to you. She'll unless you say something bad about her or you
Yeah.
say something wrong to her, then she will say something like, or she will not hang out with you at that point. But most of the time it's like she's the type of person she'll just hang out or talk to anybody. She was really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I actually went to Harding too.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah.
wait, you were 3 years
Yeah.
ahead of me. See, I went senior year only.
Only senior?
Like
Okay.
half of junior year and then senior year. But most of the time I was ditching. So if you guys, anybody who knows me, I was a ditcher. I messed up. I was a dumb
Where'd you
kid.
go? Did you go to the little forest next to the school?
No, I
kidding.
went. My uncle lived just down the block on Euclid.
Oh, okay.
So I just went to my uncle's house and like either I'll sleep there or we'll just chill, hang out, and
Okay.
so
Yeah, because I know at Harding when I was there was this little forest like towards where kind of close to where the soccer field was.
oh yeah,
And
I
like
know
a
what
lot
you're
of
talking
kids
about.
just ditch and they go in there and like a lot of people will go there to fight and shit too.
Yeah.
So kind of
Yeah.
funny.
No, I know that, and then or they'll go to East or the park.
Yeah, Eastview. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they'll chill out at the playground but when I think of it, it's like it is what it is. There's nothing you can change about it, but it's like it was fun times. But don't ditch your school kids.
Yeah. Stay in school. Yeah.
For real. So who's your biggest supporter when you came out as an artist?
Biggest support would definitely be like all the people that helped me get started. So like honestly, like I never really thought about doing music like this, but like I always knew it was something I liked, so I always kept it around and like here and there just for fun. Like I don't show it to a lot of people, but I'll just like share a rap or something to some friends or something, and they were always encouraging, like, dude, you should like really make a song, like and put it out there, people would like it and stuff. So I'd say the people that helped me get started were my ex-girlfriend who like initially encouraged me to put my music out there, and then my old producer DJ St. Paul, who helped me produce most of my songs up to date. Lieutenant Jaddy, who is the singer in Bautas, and he was the one that like encouraged me to kind of start rapping in Hmong, so that kind of forced me to learn how to read and write in Hmong. And so him and then definitely the URU guys who's shot the music video for Bautas and for Ching Yot Tao. So a lot of credits to those guys, and like all of those people, they still support me to this day. But like definitely all my friends and family, they're always like very encouraging. And but yeah, those are all the people, like the main supporters.
Right. So and see, this question is kind of pointless because we said this in the beginning of the video. Most people should know this. And I go, do you write your own music? And you said yes, you do, and you started at the age of 12 with your brothers.
Yep. So 12 was when I picked up. I was just copying lyrics,
Okay.
just from like listening to the radio.
Right.
But then 13 was when I really started writing my own.
Okay.
But yeah, I write all my lyrics. I love writing. That's like before I even became a rapper. Like I love like English and like writing papers and
Yeah.
I don't think like creative writing too, especially. So I would say the whole process of making a song, like the writing process is like one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Just yeah, trying to like come up with new ideas. So
No, yeah, I get that. So when you listen to your music, how do you feel about your music? Like, for instance, do you feel as if it hits you even when you hear it instead of just writing it? Like, or does it, do you like it? Do you go, I should have done this better? Correct yourself on some things?
yeah. So if you're talking about like when the lyrics or the music hit me, would probably be like the very beginning stage where we are writing it. Because like sometimes I will come up with a new line, and then I'm like reciting it over and over, and then it just like it gives me chills. Like oh shit, okay that was good. So then, but then like I feel like the more I listen to it,
Right.
like then that feeling kind of goes away. But then so that's when the lyrics or the music hit the hardest. But then let's see. Yeah, I feel I guess with like most music I have up now, which I don't have a lot yet, but there's a lot more coming. So stay tuned. But I guess I feel pretty satisfied. Yeah, of course I'm always gonna go back and like critique myself and
Right.
find little things that I could have done better. But then at the same time, like I use that as motivation to make the next song better.
Right.
So,
So do you listen to your music?
Every now and then, here and there. I say I listen to my music more when I go out
Okay.
rather than when I'm, alone.
Yeah.
Just cause like other people play it, But yeah, so you're kind of forced to listen to it. But then, a lot of times, like when I put out a song, I will listen to it a few times. But then after that, I wouldn't listen to it for a while, just because, like in the process of making the song, you hear it so much, from like recording to writing to like rehearsing to like performing. So like you hear it over and over so many times, so you kind of get tired of it. So I like it's gonna sound good again, after a while, if you haven't heard it in a while. So that's why I try not to listen to my music too much unless somebody else puts it on, put it on.
You're gonna come back like, dang, I went off.
Yeah, no, sometimes it do be like that, that you get impressed like, oh dang, I wrote that, I said that. Yeah.
So what do you consider your best music genre?
Like music that I make or just
so like
that I listen to?
No, the music that you make. So like it could be about your love or hanging out or going out or something like that. Just a genre that you really like to write about.
Oh yeah, like a topic. Yeah. I would say like writing about love is the easiest, but like my favorite would be like storytelling, just like telling a personal story.
Okay.
So I know I wrote a few, the song "Qing Dao Dao." That's one of my favorite songs that I made so far, just because I was like kind of telling the story of how like kids in the '90s grew up, and all the things that we loved so much back then.
Street Fighter, bro. That was the best part. I was like, damn, you really put Street Fighter. How'd you get that old ass game back there? That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. Some of my buddies, they're a little bit older than me, so they collect a lot of like really old school retro games. So, the URU guys, the one that shot the music video. So I was very fortunate to have them, include that in my music video. But yeah, just like storytelling, because like I think that was like the genre that I loved. While like during my time of like listening to rap, like I think like storytelling rap was like one of the best genres that I like listening to, like personally. And so like whenever I write a personal song about like a story, I'm telling a story, I think those would be like one of my favorites. So.
Yeah, definitely understand that. When I was growing up, I liked story time, Toy Soldier from Eminem. He was telling you a story of all the beef that they're having with 50 Cent and all them. And I was like, damn, that's... And then I like listening to Eminem when I was growing up. Okay, so like Eminem is one of my top artists. I know every song that he's got. Like every song that he's done about Haley, you know.
Yeah.
So and like the storytelling it engages you to know to find something that's similar with that artist, so you understand that artist better. So
Yeah, and they kind of paint a picture for you, and
Yeah.
it's at the same time while you're listening to it, it's like you're watching a movie too, you know.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that's what I really like about it.
So is your song about any of your past or past relationships? So it is about your past, but like anything about your past relationships that you put in?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I take a lot of inspiration from like my past relationships and like here and there. But then I think I would probably like include like a line that is about my relationship. But then like overall the whole song, like the topic will be very general, so it wouldn't be like fully about a past relationship. But I would definitely take like bits and bits of a relationship and or like inspired by just like a part of the song would be inspired by that relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. So we are down to the last 4 questions.
Okay.
So how important is music in your life?
Very important. You know, I don't think I wouldn't be here like sitting here if I didn't have music in my life, if I wasn't making music, if I wasn't surprised,
Right.
But music like it keeps me busy after work. It gives me something to do, and it gives me something to look forward to. Like I feel like when I set goals, music goals, and like whether it's like projects or just working on smaller like collab with like artists, it's like I'm more what is it, like I just feel a lot better, like throughout the day, just because I have something to look forward to, and then I just kind of feel a lot better about myself, just knowing that I'm gonna have something to work on, or I'm gonna have like more content to share with people, and so yeah, music plays a big part of my role. It keeps me busy, keeps me out of trouble, and it's helped me connect with so many people, that I would have never met if I wasn't doing music, and so a lot of good friends, and it's gives me purpose, and besides from it gives me like another purpose besides from working a 9 to 5 job and just paying bills, so.
No, I understand that. So have you ever watched the movie Here Comes the Boom with Kevin James?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so I'll give you a little summary about that movie. He's Kevin James is he's a high school teacher, and the music program at his school is getting shut down, and the only way it doesn't get shut down is if he tries to raise the money. It's like 42,000 that they have to make, and he joins MMA fighting, so he can fight. And the music teacher, which is not Kevin James, was just Fonzie. Everybody knows who Fonzie is. If you don't, then go look it up. So Fonzie tells to Kevin James, a life without music is a mistake, right? So and I think that saying goes to what you're trying to say, because without music in your life, you will never be able to do the things you're doing right now, which would be a mistake in your life right now, because you're doing so many good things, you're doing so many great things for other people, you're giving them a voice of inspirational music for them and for yourself. So
thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
So if music was removed from the world, how would you feel?
Well, let's say, if music never existed, I think the world would be okay. I mean, I wouldn't really feel much because, I don't know what music is, but let's say, if we were all enjoying music today and then tomorrow, like music would removed from the world, like I think like half the world would go crazy, because I feel like a lot of people kind of depend on music for a lot of things, like whether it's like coping, for like therapy, or just like enjoyment, so like just think about like the last party or the last event you went to that didn't have music playing, or didn't have speakers. Like it was kind of awkward, right? So
Yeah, no, I get it.
yeah.
So I went to Unison about a month ago for one of my best friends' wife's uncle, and we went to Unison, and their speaker, like, it was playing, but it had no bass, so it was just very loud. So it's like mostly all screeching, and it's like it was kind of like we didn't want the music at that time, but when they did turn off the music, it's kind of like, damn, we were just sitting there just looking around, like, what are we supposed to do now?
Yeah.
Like, we can't dance, we can't do anything, so we kind of was like, let's just end up leaving. So
Yeah.
I get what you're
That's why
saying.
like you always hear somebody like, "Hey, let's get some music playing," you know, or just to kind of like
just to get through the time and not just stay there in awkward silence. You can talk about the music, and then that music will probably open you up to do more things later. So, what advice would you give to a new upcoming artist?
I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna say the same thing as everybody else, you know, very cliche, but just definitely just be yourself and like be original. You know, you can take as much inspiration from all these other artists that you like,
Right.
but then at the same time, like make it into your own, you know. And definitely just if you want to be an artist that, you know, put out great music or whatever art form you're doing, you know, you just got to be very patient because art is like it takes time, you know, and like especially with music too, it takes a lot of time and money, and but if you don't think too much about that, you know, instead just kind of enjoy the process, and like the end product will be, you know, very satisfying. So.
Yeah. So, excuse me. So basically, and my perspective of that is, when you get to a certain time, like Picasso didn't become Picasso after a day of painting. He took years of perfecting his art, and just like any other new artist, you know, you're gonna come out with music that people might not know about, and they might not listen to it, but doesn't mean your music is bad. You just got to keep going and just keep practicing, and just like with these interviews, like I can't say it's a success or it's a failure, but if I keep going and seeing what's gonna happen with it, it can take off or it cannot take off. It's all depending on the viewership. It's not on me because I'm doing what I can do. It's not on the artist because they're expressing themselves. It's just on what you get out, your content, and the content is also art. And there's always things you can make better, but your art doesn't mean it's always bad if you don't get if you don't get viewers. It's just you just got to keep practicing, keep getting better, and doing the best you can. Just like what you said, like you're trying to level up, they're also trying to level up, you know. So just keep going.
Yep.
So this is the final question, and this is going to be a funny question because so you're a pretty good looking guy, you know, and that's an all homo thing, you know. If I'm pretty sure if other people were gay, they would say the same thing. You're a good looking guy, they want to get with you. So what would be your ideal woman?
Yeah, honestly, I don't really know myself. You know, I'm still trying to, you know, find out what my ideal woman is.
Yep.
But sometimes, like, you won't really know until you meet that person, you know.
Yep.
And so, I think generally speaking, like a woman who is caring, like supportive, like family oriented, and who is able to enjoy music too, you know, or like I mentioned earlier, like who shares the same goals as I do. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, nothing too specific.
So basically, it's kind of like whoever the person is, it just has to shine out to you. They don't have to have all like these specific like traits about themselves. They just have to be what you want. In the end, like if you find it and you feel it that you want that person, then you know, right?
Right. Yep.
I understand that. So, we're pretty much done with the questions. I do appreciate your time. We're at we're an hour and 9 minutes in, almost an hour and 10. You got any final last words or anything you want to say? You got any music coming up soon or?
Yeah. So I'm actually working on, I would say, one of my biggest project yet, but with I know especially with COVID going on too, a lot of artists are slowing down and releasing music. There's only like a few that has been regularly uploading, but um, I want to put out an EP, and so that's what I'm working on right now.
Okay.
And I'm working on it'll have a good amount of song. Of course, it's not going to be equivalent to like a full album, but it's going to be a free EP, and it's planned to. I don't have an exact date yet, but it's still I'm still in the process of. It's in progress, and I'll be announcing it soon. Hopefully, within a week or two. So I want to release it sometime next month, just to kind of. It's going to be a lot of uplifting music, and just kind of like spread love and positivity, and always having like a positive message behind each song, just to kind of uplift everyone's spirits, and to finish off the year, because I know it's been a very tough year for a lot of people. So just kind of trying to encourage everybody.
No, and I understand that. So we do appreciate you coming out and talking today, talking with us, or with me. It's not really us, but there's other people that are in this stream that are in the back end of this this project, and you just don't know about the people.
Okay. Nobody asked any questions?
So no, they're all just saying
Okay.
hi and big fan. Pretty much, you got Channing going,
Okay.
Saying hi. That's my boy, Surprise.
Okay. What's up, y'all?
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, so I want to thank you for coming out, and I appreciate you coming out. I would want to reschedule another interview with you sooner in the future when we get more viewers also, and then on top of that with your new music coming out. So I do appreciate it, and thank you for coming out, and I'll see you guys next time. So
Yeah, thanks a lot, bro. Have a good one.